Yeah, so sometimes really worried about the quality of the presentation. Okay, I'm very careful about it. And also in the applied chemistry department, most of the students, I request you to get the high level. Okay, so I will tell you how you can get high level presentation. Okay, and so today I will make a presentation how to make a good PPT and presentation. Okay, my name is藤ヶ谷. I'm associate professor with this department. So the question, what is presentation? So please consider this block. We will do presentation to something, our result to audience. But to show. To show. Discuss. To present. Present. To show. Explain. This is not perfect. So for me, please understand that this is to share. Okay, share. Share is different from the show. Okay, do you know the difference?
Yeah.
To show is just explain from one direction. Okay, but to share, so you always need to consider the audience. Okay, the presentation is to share also to the audience. So the definition in this department, to give a presentation is to make audience be understood. Okay, this is my famous word. Okay, please always consider the audience. Okay, so this is very important. This is a key in my presentation. Okay. So what is a bad presentation? I brought the degree of the understanding of the audience as a function of the presentation type for each person. For example, you. Okay. Maybe in the beginning, all of you understand perfectly. But in the middle, you suddenly lose the degree of understanding. Okay, suddenly. Okay, and after that, it's yeah, sleep. Okay. So this is a waste of your time, and also waste of the audience time. So it's a time consuming. Okay. So the question, so please make your best effort to avoid this situation. Okay. So what happened in here? Why people lose the understanding? What happened? Yeah. What happened in here? Sleep. Yeah, I think something makes them you sleep. But what happened? What happened? Confusing. Yeah, confusing. Maybe
it's not coherent. The presentation is not coherent.
Coherent.
And moving on ideas very quickly.
Quickly, yeah. Yes. There's many reasons. Typical reason is too difficult. Your explanation is too difficult. Yeah, you have answer. And also the presentation is too fast. Okay, then people lose concentration and also understanding. And the poor examination presentation. Okay. Also this makes you shut down. Okay. And also logically, if your explanation logically jump, maybe people give up to understand. Okay. And also sometimes bad pronunciation. I think also my pronunciation is not good sometimes. Oh, not always. So you have big responsibility to avoid this situation. Okay, this is basic. You have responsibility to make them understood. Okay. And also this is very typical reasons. And today I want to explain other important. I mean, some of you this is not recognized. Okay. Okay. Part one. Too much information in one slide. Okay. It happens. It happens. And typically, you will use 1 minute for one slide. This is kind of average. Okay. So sometimes people want to put many information in one slide because it looks cool. Sometimes it looks you are doing very big effort to do experiment, right? But it's not good. Not kind to audience. Okay. So remove all the information you do not mention. Throw away because you don't explain it. That means the audience don't need to understand it. Okay, right? So you can throw away everything if you don't mention. Okay, so this is vice versa. You need to mention all the information you display. Understand. So if you don't explain this graph, but if you explain only this graph, what happens? Distraction. Maybe audience want to understand this graph. So audience lose concentration. You want to make audience concentrate to the graph you are explaining, right? But if you have some many things, many stuff in here, audience lose concentration. You are explaining a very difficult issue, so you don't want the audience make disturb. Okay? So please throw away everything if you don't mention it. Okay? So this is the same meaning. And also sometimes it happens. Too long sentence. Maybe, as soon as you show the long sentence, audience give up to read it. Okay. This is convenient for you. I mean, presentator, because just read. You don't need to memorize. But this is unkind for audience. So do not do this. Okay, understand? And also this happens. It happens. So this is an example. Small font. Unfortunately, it happens many times. As soon as you show the small font, people don't understand from a later slide. Okay. Here is small. But this axis is need to understand, right? But if you show small font, people don't understand this meaning. So that means that people don't understand later on everything. Okay. You will explain only the necessary information, right? So if the audience don't understand this graph, people don't understand later graph too. Right? So this is also the reason of the rules of the understanding. And also sometimes you copy and paste some reference figure. And also inside this one, it has some small font. Okay, because you don't make it, you copy it from some paper. In this case, it happens. You show very small font, but this is also necessary for audience. But people cannot read it. Okay, so in that case, if you are very kind to the audience, if I were you, maybe I will put some bigger font instead. So I recommend smallest font is 20 in Times font. Okay, let's get back. This is 20. 12. Sorry, 12. This is 12. Smaller than 12, it's hard to read in the people in the backside. Okay. So please try to not avoid to use font lower than 12. Okay. So this is also, it happens. And also link disconnection, it happens. I think it's very difficult to understand link disconnection. Okay. maybe you will have molecule. Okay, this is molecule. And I name it like, okay, APDBCI. And okay, I also synthesize another molecule. Okay, this is APCBCA. Okay. And the next slide, we will show the graph. Okay, this is the graph of the APCBA, and this is the graph of the APDBCI. You understand? You don't understand. I mean,
yeah, we don't understand.
you don't understand, but you understand this situation, right?
Yeah.
So this is I'm saying that this link disconnection. You always need to make the link connected. So there's many ways to avoid this link disconnection. Is there any idea? Good idea? You have a good idea? No.
You should show the molecule
Molecule.
in the graph also.
Oh, that's good idea. This is one good idea. You can put this symbolic image in here, and also if you put the image put close as much possible. If you put somewhere away, it takes time to make connection in here and here. Like from here to here, 0.01, 2 seconds. But if you put here, you can understand quickly, very quickly. 0.001 seconds. So also this is the point. And also another point is you can avoid the complicated abbreviation. Right? So keep using understandable abbreviation. Okay. Like, or even you don't need to use a abbreviation. Just say.
Maybe molecular formula or molecular weight, something.
Molecular weight.
Formula.
So yeah, there's many ways. In this case, like okay, this is particle. So before with particle or without particle or something. With particle or without particle or something. Then this is much easier to understand. So even if you show the abbreviation, you can say like, okay, this is before adding, this is after adding or something. Then you can easy to understand. So you try your best to keep the link. If you disconnect the link, audience suddenly don't understand your presentation. Okay. So this is also point. And also axis. Graph axis is also important. Except NMR, if you are the applied chemistry student, right? NMR is okay for you. As soon as I show the NMR, maybe you can recognize, okay, this is NMR. And also IR and UV-Ps. Right? But except NMR and IR and UV, do not forget to explain what is x-axis and what is y-axis. Like, okay, this is the plot of the scatter distribution as a function of the particle size or something like that. Without this explanation, people don't understand your graph. Then, as soon as the audience don't understand your graph, they stop to understand. Basically, you are not interested in the presentation, basically. So I need to make you all the effort to keep your concentration. Okay. So this axis is very important. Okay, so this is this four point is some point to lose the connection. Okay. So okay, I will advise you to make much better presentation. So ideal situation is something like that. Of course, the people cannot understand perfectly, so the degree of understanding is slowly decreasing, of course, even if you are genius. But and after you get, you successfully keep make you understand. Maybe audience say understand. Sorry, this is Japanese. And they can give good questions. If you lose the concentration and if you lose the degree of understanding perfectly, people cannot give question. But if people understand your presentation 80%, maybe people can give good question from this 20%. So to keep them understand, you always need to make audience agree. Okay, introduction, agree. Okay. You need to keep audience agree. Okay. So this is the structure of the presentation. Okay. So introduction part, result and discussion, and conclusion. And maybe you will start some big issue. And the starting point is wide enough to attract the audience. The gate should be big enough to attract the audience, because basically audience are not interested in presentator and presentation, basically. So you need to correct the attract from the audience. So like, okay, fuel cell is very important because of the future energy. Like the photosynthesis, artificial photosynthesis is very important. Or global warming is important. So then many people can interact because you agree. So, but among these big issues, you will select some target in your research, right? So you need to shrink the topic to your target. Okay. And you will do research to solve some problem among this big issue. Okay. So you need to shrink this big gate from your target in logically smoothly. Okay. And always there's many branch. Okay, fuel cell is important, and to realize the fuel cell world, you need to reduce the cost. Or this is one way, and also you need to distribute hydrogen station or something. You have many branch. There's many branch. So in every branch, you need to make the audience agree in all the branch with evidence. Okay. Without evidence, nobody agree. Okay. And do not forget put reference. Reference guarantee how this evidence is reliable. Of course, in the beginning, maybe there's tons of evidence. Okay, fuel cell is important. There's many evidence. Many people is mentioned. In that case, it's almost impossible to put all the reference paper. Because many people already proved it. So in that case, maybe it should be review. But later on, maybe if the topic become shrink, maybe competitor become, number of the competitor, researcher of this topic is, number is small. So in that case, maybe you can choose all the reference paper in the end. So yeah, so reference is very important. And if you smoothly shrink your topic to your target, maybe you will say, oh no, this process, this is kind of good and bad process. Okay, fuel cell is good, but this problem is very expensive. So there's some solution to reduce the number of platinum But this is also a problem because paracetamol is something, and also this strategy has some disadvantage, and this is kind of repeat of the advantage and disadvantage. That finally you will reach to your target. Then you will say, okay, the purpose of this study is ABCD. To realize this purpose, my strategy is, my approach is something. Okay, and you will discuss the target, and of course, you cannot realize everything, maybe, in the other result. So you will say, okay, we achieved ABCD. Then the future plan is if. So you need to clearly state where you are. Okay, in the end. Of course, you cannot go to top of the mountain. in the middle, this presentation you will do in the middle stage. This is not the academic meeting. So you will do a presentation in the middle stage. So in that case, you need to clearly state where you are. Okay. So you are not the top. So okay, I'm in here, and I achieved here, and remaining is here, something like that. Do not forget to state it. Okay. And also, okay, I will stop quickly. To make a better presentation, try to make good illustration. Illustration always help the audience better understand. Okay. Only figure and the sentence is not good. It's very hard to understand. If you have some good, I don't know if this is good or not, but if you have some good illustration, it helps the understanding of this graph. And you can say, okay, this means that the aggregation of the nanotube or something. It's visually understood. So it helps. So try your best to put illustration. It takes time. And also, graph is difficult to understand for the audience. Because sometimes you will show the very unique graph. NMR is okay, IR is okay, UVBC is okay, but you will show a very unique graph, maybe. So I'm proposing the three-step explanation. Three-step. It's best way. First step is detailed, you will explain detailed experiment at graph axis. Okay, so in this experiment I did the addition, I measure the fluorescent upon addition of the molecule A or something, and that tell them what I did. Okay. Then explain on graph axis. And this is a plot of the fluorescent intensity as a function of the emission wavelengths. Okay. And the second step, let's say only the appearance. Only the appearance, no interpretation. And you will see the decrease of the intensity by the addition of the molecule A. You will perfectly agree, right? Because this is just appearance. Then in the finally, let's say interpretation. I think this is because of the quenching of the molecule by the addition of the A. Something. This three steps. And I recommend you to not to mix 2 and 3. Like, okay, by the addition of the molecule A, because of the quenching, it decrease. It sounds like too much subjective. There's many possibility, just dilution. There's many possibilities. But if you confuse these 2 and 3, it sounds like subjective, too much subjective as a scientist. So if you have time, I recommend you to do a 3-step explanation in the graph. Then graph is easy to understand. So yeah, again, audience are not familiar with your graph. Please recognize it. Okay. And also, okay, this is last 2 slides. The beauty. Beauty is very important. This is just not so beautiful, but it's beautiful enough. So what's the beauty? What's the beauty in the PPT? I'm sorry, the G is not necessary. Sorry. Layout. you can easily recognize this graph is separated in three parts. Right? This part, and this part, and this part. And automatically, you can understand that this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Right? Nobody read from here. Okay? The time from here to here in the slide. So if you good layout, you can, audience can recognize, okay, this is first, this is second, this is third. And to make a good layout, space is very important. You can understand this 3 categories because there's space here and here. Okay. Space management is very important to show the beauty. Okay. And uniformity is also important. Now, I don't show you all the slides of this presentation, but she used this mark as a title through the presentation. Okay. So then audience can recognize, okay, this is title. Always. So this is a kind of uniformity. And also font. She used this font as a title, and this font as a kind of memo. So if you make rule in your slide, this is equal to the uniformity. Okay. And also alignment is also important. I think you already understand it, alignment. These are aligned. Okay. And also this and this and this is aligned. So alignment is very important. Okay. This is connected to the beauty. And also color is important. Sometimes people use yellow. But yellow is very hard to recognize. Yellow font is very hard to recognize. And also pastel color. Do you understand pastel color? Mm-hmm. Pastel color is very hard to recognize. Sometimes projector cannot show the pastel color. Pastel color is kind of this color, not vivid color. So it should be avoided. Okay. So yeah, this 4 point is one of the message from me. This 4 points. Please keep memorize. And also this is final message. Please get someone's check. If you consider, okay, my presentation is perfect, I recommend you to ask, faculty staff is best. Please check my presentation. This is your responsibility because you will use many audience's time. Okay, you have very big responsibility to satisfy the audience's time, and also practice many time. Even in my presentation today, I practiced. I saw the, do you know Professor Shinkai? Professor Shinkai is a very famous professor from this department. And he was always nominated to the Nobel Prize every year. Even he practiced before the presentation. I'm very surprised. I'm very impressed. So of course me too, need to practice before the presentation because you have big responsibility to make the audience understand. Okay? Understand? Okay. Fine. Any question?